Hello everyone, I'm Nicole Peets, and I'll start off today by talking about how I teach treble clef or bass clef note reading with accommodations to modality. The first accommodation that I make is aural. Instead of having the students count using the music alphabet, I have my students chant or do a rap for the lines and spaces of the treble clef. The rap goes like this. Every good boy does fine, tells us every line. The space rap goes like this. F-A-C-E, face, tells us every space. My students love using these raps because they stick in their heads, they tend to remember them, and also they like to beatbox along or play drums along with this memory tool. Some examples of visual adaptations that I have used with my students are the use of a blown up staff in multiple locations in my room. 1, on the chalkboard in the back of the room. 2, on the whiteboard on the side of the room. 3, on the smartboard in the center of the room. The smartboard actually allows for students to drag notes rather than drawing their own notes if that's an issue. Additionally, I use the aid of my treble clef carpet to drag manipulatives to their correct locations. You can see that in the winter I might use my snowman as an aid for notes. And finally, I use themed worksheets for different holidays that can be blown up for students who may need a visual adaptation. To help with kinesthetic adaptations, I like to take my students outside. I've found 5 spaces in the parking lot that show the 5 lines of the staff, and we practice running as fast as we can to the correct letter. Here it is. For pacing accommodations, I make sure to provide lots of repetition for students who need more assistance. For these students, I typically like to use rondo form songs when playing along with percussive parts to a famous piece of music. During the A section, I assign this to my students who need more repetition and a slower pace. Therefore, they're only learning 1 line of music during a class. For my higher level students who need an advancement in terms of pacing, I will assign them to the A and the B, or the A, B, and C as they become more and more advanced. You can see that within the same song, students are playing at least 4 different parts depending on their ability level and depending on the pace that they need on that particular day. For size accommodations, instead of just blowing up the size of the music, I actually consider size in terms of visibility on the page. So I take my choral music for my students who struggle with visual or cognitive impairments, and I separate them out so that there is just one part on the page, much like how a band score would read, except for a choral score. The way that I provide size accommodations is by taking a choral score and getting rid of extraneous information like the accompaniment for my elementary students. So instead of a page looking like this, the page may look like this. When I copy it, it's much less overwhelming for the student. I have been able to adapt my curriculum by using colors in my classroom a lot. Students know that black means C major chord, and if they go to an instrument with a black line on it, that means that I have removed the bars for anything other than the notes of a C major chord. If they press down on the correct sticker for a ukulele, they will know that the black sticker means that they're playing a C major chord. Same thing with G. G, as you can see, is my red chord. So if students see red dots on a ukulele, those are the notes for G major. If students see a red line instrument, that is a xylophone with the G major notes spelled out. I also color code the lyrics so that students are able to sing in 2-part harmony all the time. Certain students will choose to only sing the bass line. They will know that this is C, this is G, just because of the color. And other students will sing the melody while audiating the bass line at the same time.